Hey, Vincent here. Welcome to another Plasticity CAD tutorial. Today we'll be going over Tooltall Toby's 240318 rod support. Let's get started. So taking a look at the drawing, what makes sense to me when I first looked at it is to first look at this top view and define this base. So we're given the width and the height of it. So using the rectangle tool, we'll define this base. And in order to get these rounded corners, we'll use the fillet tool to get the rounded. We're going to define the through hole right from the start. So when we extrude, we don't need to make another cut in the future. And the next thing to do is to define this kind of curved shape over here. And in order to do that, we're given these distances over here. So in order to get the distances in place, what I opted to use is the center rectangle tool and just defined the width relative to the center. We'll define two rectangles with like the 78 and the 85 millimeter widths. And from that, these two rectangles would basically form this inner like small rectangle over here, which I will use a 3-point arc to define that curve. And once I do that, I'm ready to extrude. So once I extrude everything, I will look at the side profile over here. And basically we just need to define this kind of rounded, this U shape over here. We will use the circle to define the main U shape, but we will start off from the bottom and then offset it by 35 millimeters as per the drawing over here. And then also using the offset tool, we will offset it to get that outer U shape as well. And then from that, we just need to select all of the empty space over here from the curves and then do an extrude cut to get that main shape. After that, it's just adding the details. So adding the 5 millimeter chamfer and then also these square through holes. And that will be the end of the model. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's jump into the software. So as I mentioned before, first thing we're going to do is clear this cube. We're going to switch over to the top perspective and we'll define that main base. So as I mentioned, I would opt in to use the center rectangle tool. So here we can select the corner rectangle over here, click on the origin, press C to switch it to a center rectangle, and press tab. I'm going to enter in 150 for the width. And then for the height, it's given that it's 40, and then enter twice to confirm. I'm going to press / to zoom in so we can see what we're dealing with. And again, in order to get these rounded edges, we're going to just take this curve and add fillets to them. So with this curve selected, I'm going to press B for fillet, D for distance, and then I'm going to enter in 20 for the radius, and then enter twice to confirm. And right from the start, I will also define this through hole. So when I extrude, I don't need to do an additional cut operation. So using the center circle tool, I'm going to select the center on the left over here, click, press tab, and then we're given that the through hole is 13 millimeters. So I'm going to enter in 13, and then enter twice to confirm. And then now we got to define this arc over here. In order to do that, I'm first going to define two reference rectangles. So using the rectangle tool again, press on the origin, press C to switch it to the center rectangle tool. And here we only really need to define the width. So I'm going to press tab and enter in 85. And then making sure the height, I'm just going to snap it to the existing height of the base. And that's our first reference rectangle. So I'm going to repeat this operation now, but enter the second reference rectangle. So again, press tab, enter in 78, and then snapping onto the existing base as our height. And here, so this is what I'm talking about when I say it forms this small rectangle over here. Here, I'm going to use the 3-point arc. So here, if we go over to these, to where the center circle tool usually is, one of the options here is a 3-point arc. So using the 3-point arc, I'm going to select the first point over here, second point down here, and then the third point this middle over here. And that gives us that arc shape. And this is pretty much all we need. I'm going to go and delete those two reference rectangles now. And this model is pretty symmetrical, so I'm going to opt in to just define it from one side and then mirror at the very end. So using the line tool over here, I'm going to split this down the y-axis and right-click to confirm. And now I'm ready to extrude. So if we look back on the side profile, the base is 14 millimeters. So I'm just going to take this face over here, press D for distance, enter in 14. I'm going to press minus so I can get in the right direction and then enter twice to confirm. And then now this inner part over here has a height of 54. So I'm going to select this face, D for distance, enter minus 54, and that gives us that. Now with these two extruded, I'm just press A to select everything, Q for Boolean, Q for union, then right click to confirm, and then switch over to the front view. I can now select these existing curves and delete them, and I don't need them anymore. But what I'm going to do now is, in order for me to have curves to work with as reference, I'm going to project this existing solid as a curve. And to do that, I'm going to basically select this solid over here and then run the alternative duplicate command. So the Hotkey for that, I believe by default is Option D, but you can also find that in the search menu. So I'm just going to do it through the menu. Press F to enter the search menu. And here, that's the first option, alternative duplicate. I'm going to select that. And again, you have to be in the front perspective because that's what we're going to be working with before we run this command. So once I run that, it creates this curve over here. I can now hide the solid from using this eyeball on the left-hand menu. And now we have this curve that we can work with. So as before, we have this radius of 22 kind of arc over here. I'm going to define that using a circle. So using the center circle tool, we're going to start off at the bottom because we're given a 35mm offset from the bottom. So we're going to start off where we need to offset from. So using the center circle tool, I'm going to start off at the origin, click, drag, press tab, and the radius is 22, which means that the diameter must be 44. So I'm going to enter in 44. And then now we need to offset it upwards by 35mm. So I'm going to press G to enter the move tool, Z to lock into the Z axis, and then enter in 35. And here we know that this is a kind of a U shape, which means that there's kind of a line over here that's tangent to this circle. So here I'm going to create a vertical line. And then with this line selected, I'm going to press G to enter the move tool, F for freestyle, and I'm going to select this end over here. And then now I'm going to drag it over onto the circle until I get the tangent tooltip. So here we go, tangent. I'm going to left click, then right click to confirm. Now I'm going to use the trim tool kind of just to trim away parts of the circle that we don't need anymore. So we don't need this top part as well. So now this is two curves right now. So I'm using the edge selection mode. I'm going to select both of these and then press J to join. So now it's one curve. We're going to use the offset tool to define the outer U shape. And in order to get the distance to offset, we know that the radius is 22. And we know that from end and then over here on the drawing on the side, it says that the end to end is 55. If there was another circle that defined this outer shape, the radius would be 55 divided by 2, which is 27.5. So then the difference would be what we need to offset. So with this curve selected, I'm going to press O for offset, D for distance. And then as I mentioned, 55 divided by 2 would be the radius, which is 27.5. Then we have this inner radius of 22. So we subtract 22 from it. And that's the correct offset that we need. So 5.5mm is the offset that we need to define that outer U shape. So enter twice to confirm. And then now we're given that this U kind of ends via a 12mm offset from the top. So I'm just going to draw a line from the top, press G to enter the move tool, Z to lock into the Z axis, and then enter in -12, and then enter twice to confirm. So that's pretty much all we need. So essentially right now our shape consists of this entire block. So I'm going to pre-select these three faces. I'm going to unhide our main solid now, press D for distance, and then I'm going to drag all the way out and then press tab so it cuts from both sides. I'm going to left click, press W for difference, and then select our main solid to do the extrude cut from, and then right click to confirm. All right, and so now I can actually select all of these curves and delete them. We don't need them anymore. And actually, let's add that detail in now where this 5mm chamfer, and it says it's at 45 degrees, which is kind of the default behavior for the chamfer tool anyways in Plasticity. So all I need to do is switch into edge selection and select both of these edges. And then here on the bottom right, we want to specify a chamfer distance of 5mm. So I'm just press C for chamfer distance, enter in 5, and then enter twice to confirm. And the last thing we need to do is to do that square kind of hole from the bottom. So I'm gonna rotate the camera a little bit over here using the rectangle tool again. I'm gonna make sure I select on the middle and from the origin and drag outwards. Press C to switch to a center rectangle tool, and then press tab, enter in 14 for the width and 14 for the height, and then enter twice to confirm. Similarly, I'm gonna draw a circle over here. And here that the through hole is 8. So press tab, enter in 8, and then enter twice to confirm. And then now we just need to move it into place. And here we're given that these holes have an offset of 68 from hole to hole. So we just need to take 68, divide that by 2, since we're working with only half of the geometry. So take both of these curves, press G to enter the move tool, X to lock into the X axis, enter in 68, divide by 2, and right now it's going in the direction that we don't want, so I'm going to press minus, and that puts it into the correct spot, enter twice to confirm. using the edge selection mode, I'm going to first select the circle. I'm going to press C to enter the cut menu. I'm going to cut through this main body, right click to confirm. And here it selects the cylinder as a result of the cut. I'm going to press X to delete it. And then to finish things off, we're just going to select this rectangle now, press D for distance. And here it says that it is inset by 10 millimeters. So I'm going to enter in 10. It's going the wrong way. So I'm going to press minus and then press W for difference and then select our main solid and then right click to confirm. And that's pretty much it. That's half of our model. So I can delete these existing curves now. On the left-hand menu, select the half that we created, press Alt-X, or you can press this button down here to mirror it, to enter the mirror tool. So Alt-X, and then we want to mirror it along the X-axis. So I'm going to press X and then enter twice to confirm. And then now we just need to Boolean them together. So with these two solids selected, press Q for Boolean, Q for union, right click to confirm, and that is our model. So now to calculate the mass, I'm going to select the solid over here. The volume over here is on the bottom right. So let's clear that calculator. I'm entering 128,105.86. And the density from Too Tall Toby is 7,800 kilograms per meters cubed. So I'm going to multiply this volume that we just entered by 0.0078 to get our answer of 999 grams. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good one.